into this week's recap of The Bachelorette, Kaitlyn.
Oh boy, this just keeps getting worse and worse.
Alright, so they left off in San Antonio, Texas. They were at the cocktail party. Ian was all like, I gotta steal you away for a minute.
Alright, so they basically showed the same little speech that he gave last week. Oh, you want your field plowed, and your heart's not broken.
How many times can they use that phrase again?
You're just here to make out. Basically, he said he is oceans deep, and she's
a puddle.
Yeah. You're a fake. You're not looking for a husband. You just want to make out with everyone.
So you could see it on her face. She's just like, she's pissed.
He's tired
She's
of the
insulted.
farts. He doesn't want to sit around.
He doesn't want any more poop jokes.
He's tired of sitting around in the bullpen talking about sex and poop and guy
stuff. Alright, so eventually that conversation was over. It was time for him to leave because obviously he's not going to be with Kaitlyn. So he starts walking away. He's in the car. He's like, man, this is great. Like, I think I should be the next Bachelor. Dude, are you freaking kidding me?
The ladies would be lined up because I'm
They come out of the woodwork. Just a
Okay.
few minutes before, he was like, I'm so self-aware, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. And then, of course, he had to end it with, I'm gonna go have some sex.
Alright, so Nick, being the villain that he is, he smells the desperation in the air.
He's gotta go comfort Kaitlyn.
He's like one of those jerky-ass guys who waits outside of Chippendales for the ladies to be like ready to be swooped upon.
Oh, God.
Predator. So he goes there, he's like, oh babe, with his lisp, oh baby. I'm
not
sorry,
nice.
it's just, I can't. He tells her that Ian sucks, she's wonderful, she's doing everything right.
Okay.
Did you ever notice that? He's like,
yeah. So then they're freaking making out, and Sean is just like, I need to go talk to her, blah, blah, blah. So he goes up there, he finds them, and he's just like, ugh.
yeah, and he's all like, damn it.
He's really upset. Like,
Yeah.
this whole episode, Sean looked like he was gonna cry. He was just not feeling it.
Alright, so it's time for a rose ceremony, but not where they were. They made them walk over to the Alamo.
Was it in the basement of the Alamo?
No.
Oh, okay.
They weren't allowed in the basement. That's only for really special things.
Okay.
So Jared gets the first rose, aka Rasputin, and the last rose goes to who? Tanner?
Even at this point, Tanner's like, whoa, I got a rose? I'm still here?
Yeah, who the hell are you?
Poor Tanner.
Alright. So Josh and Justin get cut. Now Josh can finally get his hair fixed.
Oh, God.
Maybe Justin can work on his fitness a little bit more. I mean, he is a personal trainer.
Are you trying to say he's not trained personally? Okay. Those are fighting words. Well, Chris Harrison comes in. He's like, guess what, guys? Pack up all your crap. We're going to Dublin, Ireland.
Oh my god, I always wanted to go to Dublin.
Everybody's freaking out. And how sad is it that the guys that were just eliminated hear them all cheering? And they're just like...
Justin was just like, I can't. I mean, Josh
with that effed up hair.
He was like,
Yeah.
no more.
All right. So...
We're in Ireland.
Yay! Ireland looks a lot like Boston.
I thought it almost looked like they were in Boston Common for a minute. The first...
Well, maybe not. I don't mean all of Ireland. I mean, what we saw of Dublin looks a lot like Boston.
Yeah. A lot of it looks like Boston. So, it's the first one-on-one. Right there!
She shows up in the guy's suite, and she's just like, yeah, I'm taking one of you out right now.
And that will be the villain, Nick.
Nick! So all the other guys are just like...
Yeah. Get ready. You're getting lucky in Dublin.
Oh.
Literally.
Yeah, he is.
Literally.
Alright, so he's got 10 minutes to get ready. They go out on their date. Oh no! There's birds!
Oh my god, I can't take that flapping! It's called moving their wings.
Alright, well...
He's terrified.
They were walking around Dublin.
On their legs.
Walking around on their legs.
They come upon some river dance people.
They join in.
Nick was really, really bad. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, well then they also took part in another wonderful Irish tradition.
Hey, why don't you buy a clatter ring for your ring finger on your wedding hand?
Nick bought clatter rings for both of them.
And they put them on. So now they're clatter married. And he's all over her.
He's all freaking over her. She's loving it. She's just like, yeah.
He's got his hand up her shirt. He's got his hand up her skirt. Well,
she wore that sweater with the holes in the backs for just for him. So
yeah.
I have to say, yes, Nick is a villain, but you can tell these two are like totally into each other.
Chemistry-wise, anyway. I don't think these two have much to talk about other than sexy time.
I don't know.
All right, well, meanwhile, while this is all going down for real...
Back at the hotel.
The group card arrives. It's this weird Chris Harrison poem about no more roses. It was really kind of cryptic.
All right, well, everyone is going on this group date except for JJ and Joe.
That means there's going to be a 2-on-1.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't sure if they were going to be doing that anymore.
Oh yeah.
I guess after Kelsey and Ashley last season, they had to bring it back.
That was great.
I know what you did.
So they have dinner in this Catholic church, and they are practically doing it at the table.
People, you are in a church. That is a holy place.
She's just like, take this rose and get in my bed. Because I gotta have me some now. Mama's gotta have it now.
Alright, well, she brought him back to her hotel room.
I didn't think they were gonna make it to the room because she freaking straddled him right in the street. He had to carry her on his wiener back to the room.
Alright, so they get back to the room. They go into her actual, like, bedroom part of the hotel.
Well, first they're making out, like, on the sofa.
Yeah. But then it's time to just...
She's like, get in my bed. And
the camera was still out in the suite.
And we hear them
And they were like wearing their mics still. Stop. Stop. It was too much. So
I want to know every part of you.
The way they edited this though, they kept cutting back from
to Ryan Gosling and Rasputin sitting around, and they were like,
what are we gonna do about Nick? Like, what do we think about him?
Well, she's been in this position before. Yeah, she has. She knows what to do, I suppose. Alright, so... oh, those poor idiots.
Oh, man.
Just sitting around on their butts.
Alright, so the next morning, Nick makes the walk of shame.
I didn't understand this part. She does, and she doesn't feel guilty. She doesn't feel guilty because she had sex, but she does feel guilty for the other guys.
She's got these other guys involved.
Well, he better keep his mouth shut!
That's what she seemed really worried about. She was like, oh crap, what if Nick goes back to the other guys and is like, we did it!
6 or 7 quickies and he's off to boast and brag to all the boys. So what does a villain do? He runs and tells the guys.
Not sort of. Really, though. He
couldn't be like, I touched her vagina. He couldn't do that. So he was like,
what is going on?
We went back to her suite.
He said they just talked.
Yeah.
And talked and talked. Is that what they're calling it these days? So all the guys are upset even just from hearing that because they're like, man, he got all this extra time. They got all this time to talk.
Well,
not fair.
You know how there's always a rail cry every season? This was like a rail rant almost. Like
it was kind of like a Gollum Smeagol situation.
I can't believe I did that. Oh my god, it was like, so good.
Oh, but Nick is so great.
Yeah.
But
I feel so bad. And no, but it was so good. And
Gollum and Smeagol.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the group date.
All right, this train's got to keep going.
Kind of. Kaitlyn's dead now.
Hey, she's spent a lot of time on her back in this episode. I'm sorry.
Well, we don't know that, but it's an Irish wake, and she's in a coffin, laughing her ass off as
Irish
usual.
wakes are all about celebrating the person who died.
They totally roasted her, and she couldn't play dead. She just can't. When
could anyone do that?
She's got to come alive.
All right, so everybody was like having a good time with it, you know, trying to tell jokes. But Ben Z, he's having a tough time with it. Because
his mom died when he was young.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one where they were like, oh, take the dog for a walk, and then he got back and his mom died?
I think so, yeah.
That's effed up.
So
make
now
him do this.
It's kind of bringing back all these emotions, and it's tough for him. So he asks all the guys to leave the room, and he's just like...
This is weird.
He gave like a really emotional...
Yeah. It was semi-emotional, and what did she do? She freaking laughed through the whole thing.
Oh, man.
Really? Oh, my God.
All right, so then after everybody gave their speeches...
The Irish guys come in, and they're like, this is really making us depressed. Let's jig it up. So...
They're all dancing and celebrating, and then it's time to move this date along to the Guinness...
Storehouse.
Yes.
Party time! There's enough booze in here to possibly get us drunk. So Ben was like, yeah, I think I need that rose. It was really hard for me today. You know, you put me through all that. Never mind.
There's a bug.
It's still here. Sean whips out some family pics. Everybody's digging deep because they really want that rose. They know this is an important one because somebody's got to go in this general group. Because the one-on-one, somebody's getting it and somebody goes. Nick already got his rose.
Yeah.
So somebody's definitely going from this core group here.
All right, so everybody's pulling out all the stops, and then Jared gets the rose.
Rasputin sneaks in there and gets the rose. He not only gets the rose, which was pretty shocking, I thought.
He gets to continue on.
Another church date. I'll see you in church. With the cranberries!
What?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is probably one of the best guest performers they've ever had on the show.
They don't deserve it. She said that was her favorite band, but I don't believe it.
That must have been amazing with that music in that church. Just filling it up. Do you have to let it linger?
But did she do Zombie after that?
I hope so.
Me too. Alright, so Sean is freaking out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm laying it all out on the line. I had this extra time with her a couple weeks ago, and she basically told me, you're it.
Yeah, he's venting to production.
And now he's not getting that same feeling from her.
He doesn't know if he can do it
it
anymore. I mean, he's like literally about to cry.
He looks like he's about to cry.
He goes back to the hotel. Hey, Kaitlyn.
Goes to her room where she's stuffing her face because they're not allowed to actually eat on the dates. Yeah.
So she's freaking out because she doesn't know what he knows. She's thinking...
She thinks that he's coming to talk about the Nick thing.
But it's not even that.
Yeah.
Man, if he knew that, he'd be out that freaking door.
Well, guess what? That cat's coming out of the bag next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so next week... They showed a couple clips. It's a real cry fest.
Yeah.
Everybody's crying.
Emotions are running high.
Woo! Except for her. She's just like...
Well, she seemed pretty upset too because she realized like, oh crap, I could have just messed this up.
Shallow. Basic.
Alright, so next week is going to be crazy. We still haven't even seen the 2-on-1 date yet.
No.
What?
They're really behind now. So the little snippet at the end was Britt bringing home Brady to her mom, and the mom was just like, "Oh, what a nice friend you have."
Brady's like, "Hey, you guys like want some water or something?
You want me to like sing a song or something on the show? What you do? You do?
Yeah.
If I don't get to sing a song soon, this friend's out of town."
All right, so let us know in the comments what you guys think. What?
I don't know who the villain is now. It might be Kaitlyn.
It might be. I don't know. And who do you think's gonna go home on the 2-on-1 date? JJ or Joe?
I'm thinking JJ. Maybe both. Who knows?
We'll see.
That fly says it's time to go. So, until next time,
much love.
Edit.